Hi, I'm Wendy Weir, and I'm founder of Libra Tea, and I'm excited to be back because we were doing Tea Moment Mondays, and I am really inspired by all there is to learn out there, and the tea moments were really about the practice of coming and connecting with ourselves and having that settled tea moment. And I'll continue to give you a few hints on that one, but I tell you what I really want to talk about for our first Thirsty Thursday is tea water temperature. So, tea water temperature is just so essential to having a great cup of tea. I wanted to talk to you then. So, different kinds of teas. You know that's all one plant, Camellia sinensis. So, the least processed tea that is picked right at the very beginning, oftentimes in spring, is a white tea. So, you can have white tea, a yellow tea, a green tea, an oolong tea, a red tea, and a black tea. Those are all the same plant, and it's just processed a little bit more every time. And the rule of thumb, the least processed the plant, the lower the temperature of the water. So I want to give you a few guidelines today. And the few guidelines that I've got is let's start with the least processed or the white teas and the green teas. So I tell you, a white tea or a green tea, you want to do it about 160, 170 Fahrenheit. In fact, there was a new magazine that I just saw online called 80 Degrees. 80 degrees Celsius is 175 Fahrenheit. And that probably makes the perfect cup of green tea, although I tend to put my tea water down a little bit in terms of temperature. It I just want to make sure I don't scald it. Really good tea really suffers from too hot water. You'll scald it, you'll burn it, you'll knock the flavor right out of it. And in fact, some people say, well, you will knock some of the goodness out of it too. And of course, you've all heard about how great green tea is for you. So moving along with our tea water temperatures, we're about 175 in terms of Fahrenheit, 80 degrees Celsius, or even a little cooler for your green teas. And now into an oolong tea, closer to 200 Fahrenheit or closer to 100 or maybe 90 degrees Celsius. Of course, the black tea can really take a strong, hot water. So a boiling hot water, 212 Fahrenheit, 100 Celsius. That's an easy conversion. I know that one. So I wanted to let you know about how to make a great cup of tea. And for us, I believe the first step is about the water. You can have the best tea in the world, but if you actually make the water way too hot, you're going to scald it, it's going to taste horrible, and then you've kind of wasted the money. And in fact, loose tea loves to be refilled. And so at that point, then, if you've scalded the first round, you don't have a lot of flavor for the second round and the third round. The Chinese actually say that the second round with the water on the leaves is actually the best one. So I leave it with you to choose your water temperature carefully. And so the last thing that I want to bring your attention to in regards to the water, not only temperature, by the way, you can get kettles that actually have the temperature settings on them. So that's a great way to walk yourself through and ensure you're getting a good temperature. The other way is just a little bit of attention and awareness around your boiling kettle. And your boiling kettle will actually start to make noises. You can hear the water as it starts to come to a place of, the steam is starting to come off of it. And then the next place I find that sort of changes again in terms of sound is that you can start it to hear to come to a boil. So I invite you to go back to the place where you just see maybe a little bit of steam is starting to come off and you can start to hear the water. That is a great place for green tea and even a little bit less for white tea. If you want to cool it down, you can lift the lid off. Of course, be really careful. We're dealing with steamy water here, but it is a way to cool down your water quickly. And just wait a couple minutes. Then as the water gets boiling, you can start to hear kind of like the rumble of the water and the bubbles starting. And of course, that means you're well on the way to the boil. So we've talked about white tea at 160, black tea all the way at 212. In the middle ground is that 175 for a green tea or 80 degrees Celsius. So take that as an invitation to go and listen to your water, pay attention to your kettle. Anytime we give our full focused attention somewhere, we're actually taking a little meditative spot. No more multitasking, just hang out with your kettle, wait for your water, and enjoy a great cup of tea. The last thing in regards to the water I'm going to say is I want you to actually smell your water. Not after the tea, but before the tea. If you can smell chlorine, if you can smell anything really, it should be pretty odorless, colorless. It's water. And so I invite you to either put it in an open jug, let's say, and let those items evaporate off like chlorine will actually do. Or you can go to a store that sells water, and if you really are concerned about your water and it is so awesome that you have great water, I really invite you to pay attention to your water and pay attention to having a tea moment. We love to inspire tea moments anywhere, anytime. And with the Libra tea glasses, it's really easy. So they're glass inside, they're durable poly on the outside, and then you've actually got this nice little filter. Today, I'm drinking a chai. It is just lovely. So I invite you, have a great time out there, have a tea moment, a peaceful tea moment, connect with yourself, and make a great cup of tea. Pay attention to your water. I invite you to get a great relationship with your kettle and your water, and you'll soon have a better cup of tea. Enjoy. Have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.